We just acquired a company called Associated Content, which is basically an effort to round out the content offerings across our media sites. So news, sports, finance, entertainment, lifestyles, music, games. And a lot of these properties we've invested in a team of professional journalists, bloggers, editors that are now creating content for the first time on Yahoo. But we realized we were never going to be able to create it all. So what we did is we started looking out there and checking out a bunch of companies that were creating more category-specific niche content at scale. And Associated Content quickly got on our radar. And when we rolled up our sleeves and really looked at them, they were producing. We realized very quickly that they were producing very high-quality content at scale. If we have an advertiser that wants to come on board and sponsor a new vertical, we can very quickly reach out to the Associated Content network of contributors, which is over 380,000 right now, and ask them to actually produce content around a specific topic.
When could some of these new verticals come up, and do you have any idea what some of those verticals might be?
Sure. We're hoping to start getting the content onto the Yahoo media sites sometime in Q4. We don't really know what the sites are. We're now just sitting down with our editors and asking them to identify holes in their coverage. So we'll sit down with the sports editors and the news editors and ask them where do we have needs? What are gaps that we want to fill right now? And then in parallel work with the Associated Content team and make sure that they think that these are areas that they can help us with. And so far the answer has been yes to all of those issues.
So let me ask you, what is the value of creating original content, and how is that a development for Yahoo?
Historically, Yahoo has been about content aggregation, right? That's our DNA. About 4 years ago, we decided to start investing in original editorial. We hired some writers and some editors within Yahoo Sports. And the idea there was we really needed to start differentiating. We needed to start producing our own content to build some credibility, to build voice, to build tone, to build personality. We went out and hired some top-tier A-level writers and journalists. They started to produce content and they started to break news. And when you break news within sports, you very quickly get picked up and you get credited, which was, from our perspective, it was free PR, it was free marketing. It was something that we really hadn't invested in the past, especially offline. And then we started to build out some credibility, get taken more seriously within the sports industry, which led to us getting more content because the leagues were like, okay, this is a legitimate sports outfit. We're going to start partnering with these guys. And you can kind of see like the cycle. We hire these guys. That leads to credibility. It leads to us getting more content, which then helps us attract better talent on the editorial side. And we did it all very profitably. We had sponsors that were much more attracted to the site, to Yahoo Sports, because we were producing this credible news. So the idea was now it's time to extend that into some of these other verticals. So the next phase was and is Yahoo News. We built out very quickly a team of writers and editors and bloggers. Historically, it's really been about content aggregation. Now we're actually out there and trying to break news, and with midterm elections coming up, the time is really right for us to be making that investment. In parallel with news, we're looking at areas like finance and entertainment to continue with that investment in original editorial. The other thing I'd say is within women's lifestyles, we've been doing a lot of this over the past year. But another focus of ours has been on the user-generated content side. So while the acquisition of Associated Content has been covered as Yahoo's first foray into this idea of crowdsourcing content, user-generated content, it's not really true. Because within Shine, like I said, our women's lifestyle vertical, 1/3 of the content is actually user-generated content on the site, and that content, believe it or not, has been making its way to the front page. So I think we've actually had 5 different articles over the past few months that have been written by moms who really don't have any experience in professional journalism, and their content has been picked up by our front page editors and been put on in the Today module of the front page. So you kind of have this instant celebrity with these writers, and it's working out pretty well for us.